Welcome. It's been a while since I made a video, approximately over 2-3 weeks. The last video was recepted well, the Archer General video. So I decided this time we're going to make a Mounted General video. So you guys know which Mounted General is best to use for your cav setups. As I talk, I'll be joining bosses to pass time. Alright. So as I did with the Mounted General video, the Archer General video, I'm going to give you guys the best free options, the ones that are in the tavern. And then I will give you the best options of those not in the tavern. There will be no ranking system on these generals as they all are fairly close. No need to argue over which one's better. If you got one of them, you'll be doing just fine. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into the generals that are cav oriented and are in the tavern. So we're going to start off with the one I think is the best in tavern mounted general. Just 1 second, going through them real quick. All right. So the one who's in tavern and the best mounted general for 32 million gold, Takeda Shingen. His base buff increases mounted by 20%. All his specialties increase mounted in some way or all attack in some way. We got 10 and 10 attack HP, 10 attack, 6 to all attack, and then 16 and 10 mounted in HP. He's probably going to be your best cav general starting off unless you get one of the token ones early on. Another option you can go with, which I don't like too much, would be Khalid. The reason I don't like Khalid too much as a mounted general is because his specialties don't go towards mounted at all. His base buff does offer 20% to the mounted troop attack, but his specialties are all siege. So if you're going to have a free-to-play account in which you're only going to pick generals from the tavern, you're going to want to go with Takeda. He's the best option. Now, as far as token generals, when it comes to mounted, there are a few good options, and you can't really go wrong with either one of them. We're going to go down the Europe list and make our way to the right. And the first one on that list is going to be Rollon. What Rollon offers is a 30% mounted attack and defense and HP by 15%. Good thing about Rollon is you can add a mounted attack skill book to him. And he doesn't require any specific dragon. It does not matter if you have a pasture dragon, a wonder dragon, or if you're early on where you still have spiritual beast and no dragon. You get all his buffs, no dragon needed. His specialties, 10 attack, 10 defense, a march size increase, and a 10 attack, which is nice, and then 10 across the board. His final one comes in with a 25% attack and a debuffs range attack. Not needed at all, but it's there. The next one, who's not terrible, he's all right when it comes to the tokens. Not in my top 3, so I wouldn't invest in him crazy. But if you do get him, use him over the free-to-play ones. That's Robert. He increases your mounted attack by 25%. His specialties are 10 and 10 for the mounted, increase in the 10 attack, 10 across the boards, and then 10 across the boards again. Like I said, not the best token general, but better than the free-to-play ones. I wouldn't invest specialties into him. I would only invest in the top three, which I'm going to mention. Rollon isn't one of the top threes. Next mounted general worth keeping and maxing and using all your runestones on is modernist. He's the one I use. He increases your mounted attack by 25%. And if you bring a pasture dragon with him, you get an extra 15%. Now, when it comes to Martimus, you cannot add a mounted skill book. So you want to go to, you're going to want to do mounted defense, mounted HP, and maybe throw a march size in there. Some people like to have mounted speed in there. I go with march size personally because there's no way to test what mounted speed really does. His specialties: 10 on the attack, 10 on the HP when maxed, 20 on the attack when maxed, and a march speed, 10s across the board, and then 46 total attack at the end. Him and Rollon are in the top three, so if you get either one of them, you're going to want to keep them. The last person to round out the top three is Hannibal. He increases ground troop and mounted troop attack by 15%. The ground troop is not needed. And increases mounted troop attack by another 20% when the general is leading the army to attack. Basically, it should have said he increases your mounted troop attack by 35%. There was no need to split that up into two. Evony beyond that bullshit. Good thing about Hannibal, you can add a mounted skill book to him, a mounted attack skill book to him, so that's going to boost up another 25%. His specialties across the board: 10 on the attack, 10 HP, 10 on the attack, 10s across the board, and then 36 on the attack, 36 on the HP. If I had to rank, it would be Hannibal, Martimus, Rollon, 1, 2, and 3 in that order. Reason being, Hannibal doesn't need any specific dragon, and you can add a skill book. And his final specialty offers 36% to HP, which is nice as well. There really isn't many other mounted dragons you're going to want to mess with. I mean, mounted generals you're going to want to mess with. Oh, I totally forgot Li Jing. Disregard my last comment. Robert is not number 4. Li Jing would be in my top 4. You could totally cancel Robert out. Fuck that guy. So what Li offers to the table is 35% mounted attack base. However, you cannot add a mounted skill book attack to him. So you're going to want to go HP, defense, possibly march size, or mounted speed. His specialties: 10 on the attack, 10 on the defense, 20 on the attack total with a little march speed, 10 across the board, 30 mounted attack, and a 6% death turning wounded rate when they're attacking. It's not going to change anything, but it is what it is. So if you get any one of these 4s, in my opinion, Rollon, Li, Hannibal, or Martimus, you can't go wrong. They're going to be the ones you're going to want to stick with for the most part. If you feel like investing runestones in them, go for it. I see people who offer favor Barbosa. Now Barbosa to me, why he's not in my top 4 or 5 is for a specific reason. He only offers a 15% mounted attack. Yeah, you get a bigger march size, which is nice. However, it's nothing drastic. His specialties is what downplays him, in my opinion. While his first two are mounted oriented, attack HP, 10% attack, his third specialty is no attack oriented at all. It's just enemy wounded into death when attacking by 10%. That doesn't benefit in any way. Even if it was an all troop attack by 6%, that would have even been better. But that third specialty kind of just diminishes his value drastically, in my opinion. His final specialty, I like out of the most because you get 26 across everything, which in total adds to be more as a final specialty than any of the 4 I mentioned previous. But like I said, his third specialty kind of just ruins him altogether. You can add a mounted attack skill book to him. I do see most people who use Barbosa go with attack, HP, and march size. So you're getting the 10% march size from his buff. You get a little 6% more once you max out his second specialty, and you can increase it by another 12% when you add a level 4 skill book to it. So he can handle a pretty big march. All right, I'm going to show you how I equip my Mortimus. You know, obviously this is like end game kind of stuff. Keep 35 when you're at Ares and H gear. My mounted general has all Ares gear because all the Ares gear plays well towards the mounted category. The mounted spear, Ares is probably the most important piece as it offers so much to mounted. You get attack, defense, and HP all in one gear item. The chest piece as well offers attack, defense, and HP in one gear item. The boots, you get attack and defense. The helmet gives you a mounted HP. The leg armor will give you mounted attack and mounted defense. And the ring gives you mounted defense. So I went with all 6 Ares. I wanted to get the extra 10% March boost. And I felt like that was the best choice. I went mounted troop defense, mounted troop HP, and march size, like I said earlier. I also use Fafnir as my dragon since he's a pasture. Martimus requires the pasture for the extra 15%. I'm going to go over general rankings in my server so you can see what people use on theirs. I know there's a Barbosa in the top 100. There's a Hannibal in the top 100, so I'll show you what other people are using. Number 4 person here is using Hannibal. He went all Ares instead of the ring being Ares. He went with an H gear. Now having a 1 item H to a 5 item Ares, it's not necessary because you're not giving yourself that 6 buff on Ares, as you see his cuts all 4. You're not giving yourself that 2 buff on H. The Ares, the H ring offers mounted troop defense 30%, whereas the Ares ring offers mounted troop defense 30%. So if that's the case, you might as well go all Ares, get yourself that 6th category of a 10% march increase. He went with attack, HP, and march size. I would go with attack, HP, and defense. And then I would get that 10% march size made up by using 6 Ares gear. Our Barbosa player over here, as you can see, he went all Ares. Smart decision. Like I said, the Ares ring offers troop defense, as does the H ring. But at least this way you get level 6 unlocked in the gear set. Human attack, speed, HP. He's big on mounted speed. I have no way of testing what it really does. Only thing I can say about mounted speed is I have seen someone use on a tile or on a portal or on a temple, for example. I have seen two players use mounted versus mounted attack each other. The person who had mounted speed had less attack buffs, less HP buffs, less defense buffs. Their buffs were worse altogether. The player who had the higher buffs did not have mounted speed, and even though his buffs were, I mean like 100% better, literally the number 100% better in like all categories, he still lost on that portal battle. So mounted speed comes into play when you're having a mounted versus mounted battle on a portal or a temple. But to me, that's very rarely a case in which you're going to run into. So I feel like mounted speed's not necessary, in a personal opinion. Trying to see if anyone has a Lee in the top 100 I could show you. I'm not looking. Oh, yeah, we got one. They want all Ares gear like I suggested. Like I said, Lee does not let you use mounted attack skill book. So they want defense, HP, march size. But that's basically it for mounted generals. If you run into a Shingen, Rollon, Hannibal, modernist, lock them down, secure them. You can make them your main. You want to use your runestones on them, go ahead. If you got a Cicada or a Khalid, and then your only mounted options, use them as well. However, don't invest your runestones. One thing you want to do is hold on to those runestones until you get a top 4 or 5 mounted general that you can invest in. They're not easy to come by. You got to grind on Battlefield. It sucks. So you want to hold on to them and not waste them on some bullshit. If you have questions you need, you can add me in game. Player ID 130666196. You're going to take that, go to your friends, go to recommend, type it in, and hit the little magnifying glass. It'll show me, and you can click add friend. If you want to know what video, or if you have any suggestions on what video I should talk about next, maybe I'll talk about wall generals, ground generals, march presets. Maybe I'll go through a couple of my battlefield reports, rallies that we've done, see what you guys think, give some insider tips, whatever you want to know. Just leave a comment. Let me know. I'll talk about anything. You guys have a good night. Hope you enjoy. Hope this helps you.